Alright, how you guys doing out there in Rockstar Land? This is Mr. Muscarella coming at you, and today I'm going to show you guys how to find the equation of a parabola given 3 points using the TI-84 calculator. You can thank me later. Now, this is going to be pretty straightforward stuff. A lot of times in a textbook, or maybe just on one of your teacher's worksheets, or maybe they're making you write it down off the board, old school, you're going to see something like this. Write the equation of a parabola given the following 3 points. Now, notice how those points are written. We've got our x's in one column and then our y's in another column. Sometimes those points might be listed next to each other, but what I like to do is line them up so that one is right above the other, and that's going to come in handy, and this is why. What we're going to do in our TI-84 is we're going to put those two columns, our x column and our y column, into a list. So let's go to our TI-84 graphing calculator. Just make sure yours is turned on and follow along. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is hit the Stat button. Now what we're going to do is edit our lists, and if there's stuff in there, what you're going to want to do is clear that out and then just hit Enter. Don't hit Delete. Alright, that's a big time mistake right there. Don't hit Delete. So hit Clear, and then whatever's in there, delete that out. Now what you want to do is go ahead and enter each one of your numbers in your x's. So x is -2, we've got a 1, and then we had a 3. So those are my 3 x values for my coordinate points that I was given. Then I'll enter the corresponding y values. So I had 40 and a 7, and then my last one was 15. Once you've got those listed in your L1 and L2, I'm going to do what I like to say, quit and go home. So that means hit the second button and then mode. Now from here, you're going to hit this Stat button again, but this time I'm going to arrow over to the word Calc and go all the way down to number 5, because hopefully by now you know that a parabola is the same thing as a quadratic. So what we're going to tell our good buddy TI-84 here to do for us is do a quadratic regression. Now I'm using version 2.55, so this is the way mine looks on my screen. Yours might look slightly different. But what this screen is telling me is that list 1 is where my x's are coming from. List 2, that's where my y's are coming from. Frequency list, we're not going to worry about that. But this is a neat one right here, the store reg ec. This spot right here means if we wanted to take the equation that the calculator comes up with and stick it into y1 for us, it'll be nice and do that for us. So if we wanted to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to hit vars. Then you're going to arrow over to vars, hit enter for number 1 function, and we're going to hit enter again because y1 is number 1. And now what that does is that puts the equation that the calculator comes up with in y1 for us, so we don't have to do that later. And then lastly, we're going to go ahead and hit enter for calculate. So arrow down and then just hit enter. Boom! Check that out. So this quadratic equation is 3x squared minus 8x plus 12, and that contains the points -240, 17, and 315. Now I'm going to verify that by looking at my TI-84 calculator just to double check. Now to do this, I'm going to do this really cool thing right here. Check it out. I'm going to go to second and then window. And instead of scrolling all the way through everything, because those points are kind of spread out a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and just do ask. And then that way I could put in the actual values myself. So I'd hit enter there and then go to second and then graph. And see what this allows me to do is just put in just the 3 points I want to look at. So I had -2 as my x, I had a 1 as an x, and a 7 as an x. So check that out. Oh, yeah. Oops, typo, righto, whatever you want to call it. I had a 3 as an x. So check it out. Did my 3 values match with what I was given? Yeah. So that tells me that TI-84 did it correctly, and more importantly, it tells me that I entered the 3 points correctly. So that's how you enter the points into your stat list. That's how you tell the calculator to calculate the equation for a parabola with 3 points, and that's all there is to it. What? You're kidding me. You want some more of that? Phew, no problem. I got your back. I got one more for you here. Check it out. Now this time, I'm going to let you keep the same x coordinates, negative 2, 1, and 3, but this time we're going to mix up the y coordinates. We're going to call them negative 15, negative 6, and negative 20. So go ahead and hit pause, get after that in your calculator, and then let's see what it looks like. So how'd you do, Rockstar? Did you get negative 2x squared plus x minus 5? You better have. Hopefully you did. I'm sure you did. But if you didn't, go back and check. Make sure you input everything correctly into L1 and L2, because again, that's where most people mess up with that. Now, if yours doesn't have that r squared sitting on the bottom, one other tech tip here. You can turn that value on by going to second and then catalog, which is right above the 0. So second 0, and then what you want to do is hit the letter D, which if you look on your calculator, D is sitting right above the x negative 1 key. That'll take us down to the D's, arrow all the way down until you get to diagnostic on. Once you get to that, you're going to hit enter, and then hit enter again. And then that way you'll have that r squared value when you type that in. Now if you have 84 or that has an older version of the operating system, check it out. You could do, when you do the, when you type in your equation, maybe yours looks like this. It says quadrag in the beginning and then has that. But either way, when you're done, this is what you should end up with. Negative 2x squared plus x minus 5 for your values, or for your quadratic equation. Alright, so that's it for this one. Peace out, you guys. You have a great one, and I'll catch up with you later.